A to the K.
To the
A
K.
to the K.
A to the K is running wild, brother.
Baby. Listen, sometimes as I can.
Where did that come from?
I was going to do my apology again.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was going for. Sorry, I thought you got the vibe.
Yeah. Now everyone who hasn't seen that video is like, what apology? But yeah, you'll have to find it.
I apologised in a previous video for my severe lack of wrestling knowledge, and I thought it appropriate to do it here, but mostly jokingly because Carl's the wrestling authority here. Carl's going to talk about some wild predictions, and I'm going to go, what?
Basically,
that's the format.
Basically, how it's going to go.
The format.
So WrestleMania 40,
What?
WrestleMania XL, right round the corner, and we know most of the matches. We'll say most. We know a fair few. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about the ones we know about, and also have a little bit of a chat about ones that we think may happen. So let's do it, shall we?
Chat on.
Announced, revealed. What do you make of this tag team action night one? Cody teaming up with Seth freaking Rollins against Roman Reigns and The Rock.
You know, I think it's funny. Awesome match, by the way. Why not? Why the fuck not? Right? It's going to be full of betrayal and full of mad shit.
Wow.
I do think it's funny that The Rock's going to end up being part of the main event both nights of Mania. 2 nights of Mania at a time when CM Punk has come back to the company. I just think that's really fucking funny.
Doesn't get one. Yeah.
Anyway,
Savage and Punk. But, right, so you say you think it's going to be full of betrayal and all that. So how do you think this is going to go down? So the rules are, if Cody and Seth win, then there's no bloodline involvement in Cody's match. If they lose, then it's bloodline rules. So it's anything goes.
Here's the thing, though, right? I think we might get a double bluff here. Because I think Seth, being a former Shield member, has no real reason to protect Cody or help Cody. Right?
Okay.
So could be liable to screw Cody. And I think The Rock has been playing Roman since day one. So I think we maybe get the double bluff here before the actual main event on night 2, where Seth will try and screw Cody and The Rock will intervene.
Interesting.
It might even result in a Cody Seth. No, it might even result in a Seth Rock.
Maybe. I wonder, though, how I can see it going down is the bloodline help Rock and Roman win on night 1. So it's like, because it's Cody.
Because that's the irony of the stipulation,
Yeah.
is it only protection on night 2?
Exactly. But on night 1,
So...
yeah. The bloodline helped them win. And obviously then the deck is stacked even higher against Cody now, because, he's got to overcome everything.
How's he going to do it?
And then there's 2, right, which of these would you prefer, right? So either The Rock is completely loyal to Roman Reigns, he's involved in night 2, is trying to make Cody lose, but then a wild Stone Cold Steve Austin appears, and we have Stone Cold The Rock staring down. Right?
I do kind of like that.
So there's that. Or, as you say, The Rock's been playing Roman like a fiddle this whole time. He makes it bloodline rules so that there's no disqualifications, and then just as he's about to help him, turns on Roman. Cody gets the win.
The thing with The Rock now, for me, though, is I was kind of all set on, he's playing. And I think a lot of people are like, he's playing Roman here. He's gonna end back, and this is all just an elaborate ruse. From like, imagine being so dedicated to the ruse that you're gonna have to, after the fact, go, was all part of the plan. Really sorry I abused the audience for weeks. I am actually a nice guy. Sorry about that. Got way into character and method. That would be kind of weird at this point. So I feel like the heel turn feels a lot more genuine because he's been lambasting the audience and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's hard to then flip-flop and go, actually, it was all a plan.
To be fair, though, he's still been the lovable Rock we all know and love, hasn't he? Like, he's putting the audience down, but like, he's smirking about it afterwards, and you're like, oh, you, calling us crackheads, you. What do you like? It's not like you.
It'll scamp you. Yeah. You're not got any hair to talk about it.
So, yeah. I don't know whether he's...
I'd like it if he betrayed Roman in a heelish way, though. I like heel Rock.
Yeah. The thing is, though, as well, I wouldn't want The Rock to then beat up Roman and help Cody win it that way. I think
I'd rather
big
just
brawls going on, because this whole time Cody's been building up the fucking Avengers, hasn't he? So he's got a few people like, Seth's on his side.
Is he Captain America?
Sami Zayn's on his side. People like that. So, yeah. that's his shield. His neck, for anyone listening to this. But I'd love it if it's like, Mandis is going, in shoes. Cody Roman in the ring.
Sami Zayn.
Just as, Solo's about to get in or something like that with a chair. Rock takes out Solo. And there's that moment of, Roman and The Rock stare at each other. The Rock smirks. Cody defeats Roman on his own.
Yeah.
Because imagine after all this, the way Cody finishes the story is The Rock helps him do it.
Yeah. The only minor change I would have to that though is as a show to build up a future between The Rock versus Roman, and as a show of Rock's authority in the tribe, if you will, could be that he doesn't take Solo out. He just literally goes like that. Do you know what I mean? And Solo does as he's told.
Yeah.
And then it's like, actually, you're not in charge here, Roman.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
That's miles better. I prefer that one.
Just a subtle, don't do it.
Yeah.
And they're like,
because then Roman's lost the bloodline, hasn't he?
Yeah. And I think that just that subtle psychology there would just set up then The Rock's actually been in charge and is in charge.
I love that.
You're not the chief kind of thing.
I love that a lot. Because, like, even as you said, just that putting the arm across his chest and the realization from Harvey.
I'm glad you said that, because those listening did no idea what I did.
But I fucking loved that. So yeah, I think it would be boring though if they go down the route of Seth and Cody win on night one, and then it's like no bloodline involvement. It's just a fair fight. Like
yay,
shit. So I hope it all goes to shit. I hope Rock and Roll.
How does it work? Like, what's the stipulation here? Like, because if the bloodline don't listen to this stipulation and get involved on night 2, what, does Cody win the belt? Is that got to be how it works, right? Because you can't go, well, that's it, you're disqualified. And it's like, so I still didn't win.
Well, exactly.
But just by a technicality this time.
Yeah.
So is it like if they get involved, you just fucking lose?
Can you imagine that though? Can you imagine that though? It's like, okay, so fine, you won. The bloodline won't get involved. They get involved anyway, and it's like, lol.
DQ.
Stipulations mean nothing. I'm your boss.
Go fuck yourselves.
But no, I think bloodline take the win here. Stack the deck against. They might even have Seth wrestle on night 1, and he's got to do double duty in the same night, and then he's exhausted because he's lost the belt to Drew or something, and it's like, oh, but yeah. Well,
think Damien's gonna cash in?
See, there's that as well. Part of me still thinks the biggest fuck you ever possible is for Cody to finally finish that story and Damien to cash in, and the last thing we see on WrestleMania night 2 is Damien Priest is the champ.
I don't know who you do it with, but you could set up you could get rid of the briefcase and set up a nice feud and fuck with the audience if Cody wins and then Damien's music hits and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. But then someone stops Damien. So he loses. Cody gets the pin, wins twice in one night, successfully defends right after he's won it. And then it sets up a feud with Damien and somebody.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be too like American hero for Cody to try and get cashed in on and win.
Yeah.
I feel like they could set up something for Damien there by having somebody go, no, let's not fucking do this, actually. And just intervene, and even if it's like Finn or somebody. Just fucking do him.
Imagine. Yeah, I forgot all about Priest. So
everyone has. Unfortunately.
That's what they want you to do.
That fucking cursed briefcase, man, because there's just no way of cashing it. Hasn't he said something? I don't know if it was an interview or on socials where he's been like, well, I can't cash in on Seth because he's injured or something like that. And Roman's never there, so I can't cash in on Roman. And I meant to cash in on Raw because I'm on Raw. And it's like, yeah, it's like, even if he wanted to, when's he going to cash in?
Yeah.
So I kind of get that.
Yeah. Plus, if rumours is to be believed, he's not getting out of bed. He's with DJ Perry for he wouldn't get out of bed to cash in.
Oh, he cashed in, all right.
Which obviously does take us to the main event of night 2. So whichever the outcome is, it's Roman versus Cody.
They look like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
They do a little bit. But yeah, we've kind of touched on it already. But who's winning it?
I think it's got to be Cody. If they do not do it this time,
could you imagine Roman beats him again?
If the Roman beats him again,
we forgot
Cody's
to add.
Not finishing the story.
Did you see what they've added now? The AEW stipulation. If Cody doesn't win, he can never challenge for the title again. God. Shit, you're not.
See, this makes me think even more that Cody's going to win though, because I think they've added it as a reference to that.
Yeah.
Because Cody fell on his sword the last fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, he can't. He's got to finish the story this time. We've been waiting so long.
He has to. Because people are there going, well, he's this close to beating Hulk Hogan's record. Surely they won't make him lose it now. It's like, no.
Yeah, he can't beat everyone's records, man.
He's the longest reigning champ of the modern era. So let's leave it at that.
Plus, I could see WWE protecting Hogan's reign.
True.
Maybe Hogan comes out and screws him.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
What you gonna do?
Oh, that. Old man breaks hip.
No, because he'll do what Hulk always does, no sell, and that's his gimmick, no sell, and then go.
Yeah, basically that. But yeah.
I can't. Like, it's honestly, it still baffles me that Hulk Hogan became so popular for no selling in such a protected industry that they're like, "Yo, you shouldn't do that."
Yeah,
like the fuck.
I know. It's
Anyway,
mental.
sorry.
But yeah, I think Cody as well.
Yeah,
has to be Cody.
Gotta be.
Which then takes us to Seth freaking Rollins against Big Daddy Drew.
I want it to be Drew.
I want it to be Drew.
I don't think it will be.
Really?
I
kind of feel like it will.
I think that's been part of him signing the contract. You think he's nearly done signing? I think he's at the E now. Nearly wrote it.
I don't know. I feel like the feud they wanted to have here was CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, but that's now kind of, run a bit cold, hasn't it? And if anything, people will probably want to see Drew versus Punk more now.
Yeah.
So
he's been an absolute fucking menace.
Exactly.
I'd love to see heel Drew with the belt. We've had face Drew at a time when he really deserved more.
And plus, if Cody gets the win, then we've got babyface champ over on SmackDown, because Cody'd have to go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then you'd have Big Daddy Drew as the big dog on Raw.
And Cody feels like such a SmackDown guy.
And to be
fair, he's like your John Cena, isn't he? Really, so he's such a SmackDown dude.
Even though Seth's back and he's able to wrestle and be at the event, he's still banged up. Like, he could do with some time off. I know Becky's launching a book and stuff as well, isn't she? So maybe they're just gonna travel and do some book stuff together.
Maybe, but when Becky was all banged up, she just became the man and fucking ruled the women's division.
Yeah, exactly.
What Seth did. I kid, of course.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love it to be Drew, not just because I'm a big Drew fanboy, but
I'd like a heel Drew though.
Drew with the title, he is. That's what I mean.
We haven't had that as champ. He was face Drew as champ. I think he'd be more. Run with the title.
He'd be more over as a heel.
I agree. I totally agree.
I just think as well, I could see them pulling this on night one, and then having Seth lose his belt and go into it with Cody, where he's like, "I've lost the belt because I took my eye off the ball with."
Could that be a more compelling reason for Seth to screw Cody?
Yeah, exactly. So then it's like, oh, what the fuck happened? So yeah, it just creates more intrigue on what's the most intriguing matches of all time. Speaking of Becky Rhea. So I think because both of the men's titles are going to change, we get Cody, we get Drew. I don't think Rhea's losing here.
I don't want her to be honest. I think it'll be a great match. Becky is obviously a very deserving champ, but I don't want Rhea to lose the title just yet.
No, me neither. You've still got unfinished business with Liv Morgan.
That'd be a great name for a pay-per-view.
Unfinished business. You've got stuff that they could do with Jade. You've got loads of stuff. Aaron Bianca could go at it again. Yeah, I just think
you're almost loath to say that, Logan.
I just think like the Becky redemption arc and stuff like that is cool and all, and she probably deserves to be in the main event with Rhea. I just don't think she needs to be champ right now.
Agreed.
And again, going back to the whole, she's got a book and she's going to go and do media and everything with the book and do book tours. Is she going to be able to make every town as champ while being a mum and while doing the book tour and while doing everything else? I don't know. So I'd go with Rhea. I think Rhea keeps it.
You would?
Yes, I would. Because I just don't think every title's going to change in Mania.
No, I agree.
So
I think that's the one to keep as well.
I agree. Because I also think this title's probably going to change.
I think it should.
I hope it does. Bayley,
no offense to Iyo, but I think Bayley deserves this moment.
Well,
this is her moment.
She's like almost become Cody in a sense now, hasn't she? Because everyone's against her. She's fighting this uphill battle by herself. This is her story to finish. She's, it's going to be shit if they don't get a main event though. But then again,
they won't. The Rock's back now.
Yeah, because they literally said, didn't they? Like they're going to the Royal Rumble winners are going to main event Mania, and it felt like, oh my god, Bayley's getting a main event. But there's no way. We know that night one it's going to be. They're not going to put Rock and
they're just weird
stuff on and then put Bayley on after.
We had 3 main events this night. Like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Oh yeah, that's
just
what they'll
weird at this point.
Co-main event and all that.
That's what they tried to sell Punk on. That's one of the things Punk moaned about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was kind of like,
especially now with this whole TKO merger thing, like they'll lean into that kind of thing for UFC because they do it all the time. It's like, it's a huge card, 3 title fights, and it's like, but you put the shit's title fight down here.
Yeah.
You know what the main event is.
You've still ranked it, haven't you?
Exactly. So it's like, so that's really the main event, right? So yeah, Bayley deserves it. It'll be interesting to see what a babyface Bayley looks like with damage control on the rear view mirror.
You think we're getting the flailing arm, flailing tooth?
That's what I mean. I don't think she'll go back to that. So
I don't think she should.
What does a face Bayley look like in 2024?
I think the fans will be behind her as long as she's wearing them pants again.
That is true. They'll all be stood behind her. That's for sure. Right. Kind of pissed about this. Not gonna lie.
I was. I'll be honest. I don't
Sammy.
I don't even want to fucking talk about this. I'm kind of fucking. No offense, Sammy, right? But I get why people were kind of annoyed because it should have been Gable. This was Gable's time. What the fuck were they thinking?
Right. I'm still holding out hope that Gable will be added to this and we'll get a triple threat. Because
even if it's reactionary to the audience, because nobody wanted this.
Hear my logic. But again, it's so hard because you have like all your fucking belts changing at WrestleMania. Because like if both of the main titles are going to change and one of the women's titles and then the Intercontinental, it's like all your fucking belts are swapping. They don't tend to do that. So it's not the worst thing in the world if they keep this as Sami versus Gunther and Gunther retains.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. And then Gable has his moment.
I kind of want Gunther to retain.
In like SummerSlam, Cleveland.
In this scenario, yeah.
So the only two ways I'd be happy is if Gunther retains and we have a longer build to Gable's being the guy that dethrones him, or Gable gets added, Gable pins Sami. So Gunther doesn't lose, still looks strong,
make Gunther look strong,
still undefeated, can elevate him nicely to be Cody's number one rival.
I like that. I mean, Sami, like, this is no disrespect to Sami. He's been pivotal in a lot of stuff. You know, he kept the bloodline story going by all accounts. And you know, it's no disrespect to him, but it was Gable's time. And if they don't add Gable to this, I'll be a little bit disappointed. Yeah. But it could be a longer story.
What disappoints me? I don't want to say Sami Zayn disappoints me, but Sami was brilliant when he lent into his like humor and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Since the whole thing with the bloodline and like main event Mania last year, he's been this like serious Sami, and it's shit. That's not what he's good at.
You shouldn't. He's going to be coming out as serious Sami Zayn,
serious Sami
versus
Zayn.
Main event Jey Uso, and like it's just nah.
Exactly. But yeah, that's the only way I'll be happy is if Gable gets added into this, or Gunther retains, and then we get Gable down the line because it should be Gable.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, not officially announced.
Don't give a fuck. Not bothered. Everyone seems bothered by it. I don't care. I don't even know which one's winning. Don't care.
So, if anyone listening, we're talking Jey versus Jimmy, brothers versus brother match.
My prediction, Carl, and Uso is definitely going to win.
You never know. Could be a draw. Solo could win. Maybe he gets added into it. But yeah, this has been a long time coming, hasn't it? And I think
it went off the boil for me. They should have pulled the trigger on this a lot fucking sooner.
We've had brother versus brother matches before at Mania, right? Didn't we have Matt versus Jeff at Mania? We've had Owen versus Brett at Mania. So they tend to be okay. I don't think Matt and Jeff was amazing. Could have been better. But you've got to have high hopes for this.
It'll be an okay match, but what have they done to keep this feud going?
Well,
you totally separate them and they don't speak to each other?
Well, Jimmy rocks up and costs them matches every now and again. And then Jay's like, I want to fight you now.
Yeah.
So, no.
I don't know. It's kind of gone off the boil for me. If they'd have done it like a few months back, it'd have made sense to me. But they wanted it to be a Mania match. And it's like, I don't think you've done enough to make me even hyped about this. I don't care.
Well, like, there's still a couple of weeks to go, so who knows what we'll get. And as I say, this hasn't been officially announced yet. This is just my little topic.
They're falling out kind of confused the fuck out of me anyway. And if you think back to the way it happened, there's like one of them left the bloodline, then the other left the bloodline, then one of them went back to the bloodline, and the other one was like, well, fuck you then. And you're like, why have you guys, have you actually even sat down and talked as to why you've fallen out?
Talk about your feelings, guys.
I think you both agree that Roman's not a good person. So what's the deal here? I don't even think they know. Yeah. So unless there's a proper feud, I don't know.
No. But I think Jay's going to win it. You can't go around keep calling the main event Jey Uso every 2 minutes and then just have him lose every single match he's in.
Ironically, he's not going to be the main event.
Well, no.
Never has been. Interesting that.
Yeah.
I can't say never. Someone's going to point that fucking out. He obviously has. But he's not. To have the nickname, I'm thinking you should at least do 3 main events. Is that fair? To gain the nickname?
Maybe. Yeah. He main evented against Roman, didn't he?
Yeah, he's had a main event, but you know what I mean. That'd be like me playing basketball, scoring 1 3-pointer out of 700 shots and calling myself 3-point Tony. It just doesn't fucking happen, does it?
Well, I like that.
I don't know why I use that analogy. I'm wondering if it's because I'm looking at a basketball net, to be honest with you, Carl.
We're talking about...
I'm using things in the room.
What room? We're in a purple brick wall. Yes. Shut up. Yeah, Jay. Going with Jay. Right. It's been announced a 12-man ladder match.
Okay.
Right? So there's this big thing around, we're going to have a big announcement about the tag team titles, and everyone and their fucking dog was like, they're splitting them. Makes sense. We're going to have SmackDown titles and Raw. Yeah, we need this. The big announcement was there's going to be a 12-man tag team ladder match at Mania. So, what I think might happen, it's kind of I think someone's listened to my genius idea that I had on one of our episodes a while ago. I think we're going to get 2 people on the ladder. Someone grabs the SmackDown title, someone grabs the Raw title. We've got 2 new champions. And either the Judgment Day have got one, but then that's how they lose one, or 2 completely different teams have got the belts and Judgment Day are fucked.
You know what I do? What I really don't want them to do is to have this, like, oh, he grabbed one set of belts and he grabbed the other set of belts, but they're not a tag team, because that'll be frustrating. Yeah. How can they coexist? We've done that way too many times.
Yeah. True. But yeah, I feel like there's got to be something.
It's a good way of splitting them, like.
Yeah. I wouldn't be.
Do you think they should be split? I don't think you should have 4 fucking belts.
Well, exactly.
But
that
should they just
sense.
be one set of tag belts?
Yeah, they've unified the belts that Roman had. So why? There's more of them. Like, why?
This seems really cumbersome at this point.
Exactly.
But I still think there should only be one set of tag belts. I don't think we have enough tag teams to merit 2 sets of tag belts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the logistics of 2. It's
the brand split that fucks it all up. Because unless you make your tag champions move between shows, then it's harder to build your rivalries and stuff. Because what do the other tag teams do on Raw if the champions are currently in a feud with the team on SmackDown? I know
it'd be a bit of a chaos on it, because if you're the tag champion, then you'd be doing double duty all the time, wouldn't you? So I suppose logistically it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
No,
you're right.
So yeah, I take your point there, but maybe that's why this is the inevitable and they will split it.
Yeah, I feel like
there's our truth there.
Because I think so. The teams haven't been announced yet. Who I think's going to be in it? DIY, 1,000,000%. Awesome Truth, 1,000,000%.
Huh?
Then probably the Creed brothers, maybe the New Day because they've got nothing to do.
Any Alpha Academy in the mix? Gable's not
so Alpha Academy. So there's qualifying matches happening, but it's Otis and Tozawa. So they're not winning. So
okay. I mean, I keep forgetting Tozawa's even part of it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
So who knows what they're doing with them 2 at the minute. But yeah, I think we're going to get definitely multiple champions here.
DIY. If DIY are in it, they're walking out with the belts because people are so high on them.
I hope not.
I hope not, but people fucking love them.
It's got to be Awesome Truth. That's my pick. I want them to win at least one set of them anyway. So yeah, we will see how that pans out. Then you get to this clusterfuck on SmackDown of the people who've got nothing. Because originally...
Well, I'm hearing rumours that LA Knight and AJ are going to be a singles match, aren't they?
Well, this is my problem.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, don't look at this slide as definitely me saying it's like all 5 of them in the same match. But you've got this problem where Kevin Owens got fuck all to do. Randy Orton and Logan Paul look like they're destined for a match.
Yeah, AJ he poured Prime on somebody or whatever.
AJ and LA Knight look like they're destined for a match. But then Kevin Owens has got nothing.
All right.
So
Kevin Owens, can wait.
Well, Kevin was doing stuff with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Okay. So I thought Sami would join up with Kevin Owens and we'd get Sami and KO versus Logan Paul. No, versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
Ah, okay.
But now Sami Zayn's fucked it up because he's fighting Gunther.
Nice one, Sami.
So what you do with that? You're not going to leave Kevin Owens off the card. He main evented it last year.
And so what do you do? Suddenly have him not involved.
And you've had Kevin Owens hanging around Randy Orton like a bad smell, like RK Owens at this point, right? So
I mean, let's be right. Okay, let me throw it out here. KSI keeps appearing.
Yeah.
Randy's poured Prime on KSI the other week. Was it this week? Sometime.
Tag match KSI and Paul versus
KO and Randy versus
could happen.
KSI and Paul.
Could happen. That's one option. So we get a tag match and then LA Knight and AJ Styles do something themselves, or Nick Aldis goes, all right, this is a bit of a clusterfuck. These are all fighting. Maybe it all spills over. They all get involved. You can all settle this together at Mania for the United States Championship. Logan Paul's like, what? Beats an RKO, Orton wins, everyone's happy.
Cool.
Or LA Knight wins and everyone's happy. Either way.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know what the clusterfuck is here, but we're going to get some combination of Orton Paul.
Randy Paul's definitely. Fuck's sake, Randy.
Randy Paul.
And Night Styles seems to be destined, doesn't it, as well? Like you say, it's just.
That's a cool like tag team name, that, isn't it? Night Styles.
Dun, dun. It's just, what do you do with Kevin?
Exactly. So we will see. Then, so this could be a singles match. This could be.
I don't care.
I know you don't care. But Rey Mysterio came back. Right, this is what is perplexing to me. Rey Mysterio came back on crutches, and everyone's like, and then all of a sudden he's fine. He's beating people up with his crutches. So we've got Legado del Fantasma.
Are you surprised? This guy's
LWO.
lost an eye and then just blinked it off. You know what I mean?
This is true. So it seemed like we were going to get LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. That's all going to be cool. Then Dragon Lee's in a match this past week, and he wins the match, but then gets beaten down by Del Fantasma afterwards. No LWO anywhere to come to the rescue. And I'm like, what the fuck? So are we going to get Rey versus Escobar? Are we going to get Rey versus Escobar versus Dragon Lee? Are we going to get LWO with Dragon Lee versus Del Fantasma? No idea. But there'll be some sort of combination of this shit.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I mean, for me, the WrestleMania match should be LWO versus Legado del Fantasma, shouldn't it? Sure.
Yeah, well, exactly. But I think maybe Dragon Lee forms part of LWO to make it work. Maybe Zelina Vega and B-Fab are involved in it. Not B-Fab. He's in Lashley's one. What's the other one called? You know, Legado del Fantasma's one. Lopez.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that will happen. Then you get to the other clusterfuck of what you do with all these talented young women. Trinity's just come back. Lost everything fucking match he's had. Tiffany, fucking killing it at the minute. Everyone wants some Tiffy time. Bianca Belair.
Mae Young Battle Royal. Tiffy wins. Gets a trophy. That looks like a vagina.
Yeah. Well, I'd be fuming if they just do this though, to be fair. But I was thinking, could they have like a multi-woman match for number one?
They can. A Battle Royal.
Contenders. Like, it'd be shit on all. Can you imagine Bianca Belair? Imagine Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Just a random battle royal thrown together. There's not enough women's matches on the card. Can't have the two women's matches.
But it's WWE, and sadly, I think they have a habit of going, what do we do with the rest of the women? Battle Royal.
Yeah. Maybe, which I'd be very disappointed if that's what they do. But I feel like...
Unless in the next week or so they form teams naturally and then just go at each other.
I feel like WrestleMania should be jaded. I feel like she was at the Rumble. She's lurking around backstage still every now and again. So I feel like she'll have some involvement.
Yeah.
If she does, she should win. That's where the problem happens, I guess. Because I'd have Jade win, I'd have Rhea win, and then the next big thing you do is Rhea Ripley versus Jade. And it's like,
rightly so. Rightly so.
We will see.
But crazy stuff, isn't it? That's a lot of women to find the space for on the card.
Super talented women as well.
Super talented. That's why they're listed, isn't it? It's not like we're listing the whole women's roster. We're listing the ones who fucking should be at WrestleMania. Exactly, so what do you do?
Yeah. This is another one we don't care about, but it feels like something's happening. Bobby and the Prophets versus...
It's Bobby and the Prophets.
Final Testament.
Honestly, if we're going to... Bobby and the Prophets sounds more New Day than New Day.
To be fair. This is what I was meant to be saying before, because B-Fab is kind of in Lashley's gang now, and Scarlett's kind of getting more involved in stuff. Maybe it's like a 4-on-4 deal. Not too sure.
I'm not overly taken with Carrion's faction. I think they've shit the bed again, unfortunately. But
common denominator, Carrion. So
I think they handled him well on.
But everything else he's had since then is fucked, any.
What NXT, Carl?
Like, can't be that hard to pull off. Like, a guy with a fucking big mask on his head and dressed like a gladiator.
Yeah,
anyone can pull that off.
I feel like they just need to get Carrion and shave his fucking head again.
Keep calm and Carrion. Which leads us to the last slide here, and I'm not suggesting CM Punk.
What a match!
CM Punk, Hulk Hogan, and Steve Austin and John Cena are going to have a match. What I'm suggesting is biggest WrestleMania of all time. These guys are going to be involved, surely.
I love the suggestion that Austin ends up staring out the Rock at some point in some way.
Look, I would love that.
I like that.
Nostalgia.
And then Hogan comes out and stares out the Rock in some way.
Nostalgia.
And then Cena comes out and stares out the Rock in some way.
Well, we've not had Hogan and Cena.
I've just realised how much of a connection they all have to the Rock.
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah, scary though. We've not really had Hogan and Cena, which is mad.
They're both the American guy, aren't they?
Yeah, like we've had Hulk Hogan do stuff. Like he's hosted it with Titus and that, hasn't he? Because some of the black guy, prove he's not racist.
It's like, look, we're definitely friends. Don't get too close.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he definitely handled that well, didn't he?
Yeah. So he's done that. He's had that iconic moment in the ring with The Rock and Austin. But is it time for Hulk Hogan and John Cena to have some sort of stare down or something promo thing in the ring? Cena said that he's free, he's available. So what do you do? Put him in a match and make him lose again? Put someone else over? Or
Well, he likes to turn up naked at things, right? At the minute.
well, he does. Speaking of people who like to turn up naked to things, Hulk Hogan. But yeah, I feel like Austin could have some involvement in the Bloodline stuff. CM Punk, he's coming to the Raw like 2 weeks before WrestleMania. I feel like we're going to find something out there, either special ref or
I think special ref's a good
host or guest commentator or something.
I mean, host might not be too bad. I think he's probably better in a more of a commentator role. He's a good talker, but is he really the host? I don't know.
Yeah.
Host always feels like it should be like more of a celebrity deal, you know?
Yeah.
But commentator or special ref, I think, are both boss shouts for Punk at the minute.
Yeah. So we kind of have an idea how he can be involved. I can't think of any way other than something to do with The Rock for Austin. And then you've just got Cena, who definitely wants to be involved, and there's no reason why he wouldn't be. And Hogan. So for me, I'd put them two in some sort of segment. We've never seen it. 2 completely different generations.
Yeah. Feels like it should happen. And eventually we can have Hogan, Cena, and Cody.
Yeah.
The fight for the All-American title.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so that's all I've got. So I'm sure there'll be loads more matches. As you said, like there'll be the Women's Battle Royal, there'll be the Andre Battle Royal. I'm sure that'll all happen. There's probably going to be something with Maxine Dupree and
They're building something up there with the Pixie on the
Candice LeRae and all that. So yeah, sure there'll be lots more going down. But let us know, what matches do you think we need to see at WrestleMania that haven't been announced yet? What do you think we should do with the stacked women's roster? How do we get all them on the card without just shoehorning them into a battle royal? And what about these legends? Where should they?
And we're not talking about us, friends.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments. Do the usual, like, subscribe, download all the episodes
Like,
on
subscribe,
your favorite podcast.
make random weird comments. You know,
And,
all the usual.
Yeah, maybe less of that. But interaction's interaction, right?
Yeah.
And we'll catch you on the next one.